Now, listen to me. Everybody loves Halloween, right? The candy, the costumes, the spooky movies. But have you ever stopped to think where this crazy holiday came from? I'm here to tell you the story is wild. We got to go way, way back. I'm talking over 2,000 years ago. Back to the ancient Celts. And these folks lived in what is now Ireland, and all around that area they had a big festival called Samhain, and that's pronounced Samhain. Don't mess that up now. This was their New Year's Eve, but it was on October 31st. It marked the end of summer and the start of a long, cold winter. The Celts believed some serious stuff about this one night. On October 31st, they thought the wall between our world and the spirit world got real thin. I mean, paper thin. And this meant that ghosts and spirits could just walk right over and hang out with the living. Now, yeah, you might think that's cool. A little family reunion with great-grandma Gertrude. But hold on. They believed all kinds of spirits could cross over. Some were good, but some were looking to cause trouble. You never knew what you were going to get. It was a night of pure mystery and a little bit of fear. So, what do you do when you think ghosts are roaming your neighborhood? You can't just offer them a cup of coffee. No, sir. The Celts had a plan to fool these spirits. They started wearing costumes. They would put on masks and dress up in animal skins. The idea was simple. If you looked like a scary spirit yourself, the real spirits would just leave you alone. They'd see you and think, oh, that's just one of us, and keep on walking. It was the world's first ever game of dress up. But it wasn't for fun. It was for survival. That's a whole different level of commitment to a costume. To keep the spirits happy, people also left out food and drinks. It was like a little treat to appease them. The Druids, who were the Celtic priests, would also light these huge bonfires. These weren't for roasting marshmallows, people. These fires were sacred. They were meant to light the way for good spirits and scare off the bad ones. Villagers would take a flame from the big bonfire back to their own homes to keep their families safe through the dark winter. It was a community coming together to face the unknown. And that's where it all started, straight up. Okay, so things started to change. You know how it is. Time marches on. The Romans came along and they conquered the Celtic lands. The Romans had their own festivals and they started mixing them with Samhain. It was like making a holiday smoothie. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. One of their festivals was in late October to honor the dead. Another one was for Pomona, the goddess of fruit and trees. This is probably where apples got mixed up in Halloween. See? It's all connected. Things were already starting to evolve, but the biggest change was yet to come. Then the Christian church stepped in. The church saw all these old traditions and said, hold on now, we need to make this our own. So the Pope created a new holiday. On November 1st, they made it All Saints' Day. This was a day to honor all the saints and martyrs. It was also called All Hallows' Day. Hallow is just an old word for holy or saint. So the night before All Hallows' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve. You see where this is going, right? All Hallows' Eve got shorter and shorter over time until it became the word we all know and love, Halloween. Now, even with the new name, some of the old traditions stuck around. In the Middle Ages, a practice called souling became popular, especially on November 2nd, which the church called All Souls' Day. Poor folks and children would go door to door, and they would would offer to pray for the souls of a family's dead relatives. In exchange, they would get little pastries called soul cakes. Each cake they ate was supposed to help a soul get out of purgatory and into heaven. This sounds a lot like something we do today, doesn't it? Going door to door, asking for treats. That's right. This was the beginning of trick-or-treating. So you see, the holiday kept growing. It was a mix of Celtic beliefs, Roman festivals, and Christian holidays all rolled into one. And the idea of spirits, dressing up, and going door to door for treats was all there. The name was set. The basic ingredients for our modern Halloween were all simmering in the pot. It was a long journey, but the holiday was taking shape. It just needed to cross the ocean to really become the big party we know today. And believe me, that's a story all by itself. So, how did Halloween get from Europe all the way to America? It sailed across the ocean. In the 1800s, a whole lot of immigrants from Ireland and Scotland came to America. They were looking for a new life, and they brought their traditions with them. And one of those traditions was Halloween. At first, it wasn't a huge deal everywhere. People celebrated with little parties, told ghost stories, and played games. It was more about the community and the harvest. But the Irish brought some very specific traditions that would change everything. One of the best stories they brought was the tale of the jack-o'-lantern. The legend is about a man named Stingy Jack. This guy was a trickster. He even tricked the devil himself, not once, but twice. When Jack died, he was too sinful for heaven, but because he had tricked the devil, he wasn't allowed into hell either. So the devil gave him a burning piece of coal and sent him on his way. Jack put the coal inside a carved-out turnip to use as a lantern. He was doomed to wander the earth forever. People in Ireland started carving scary faces into turnips to scare away Stingy Jack and other evil spirits. When the Irish got to America, they kept up the tradition, but they found something even better than turnips. They found pumpkins. Pumpkins were bigger, easier to carve, and looked a whole lot spookier when they were lit up. And just like that, the turnip was out, and the pumpkin became the star of Halloween. You can't even imagine Halloween without a pumpkin, can you? You have Stingy Jack and a bunch of Irish immigrants to thank for that. That's a fact. Now, let's talk about trick-or-treating. For a while in the early 1900s, Halloween was getting a little out of hand. It was called Devil's Night, and it was all about pranks and vandalism. People were causing real trouble. So communities decided they needed to control the chaos. They encouraged organized trick-or-treating. It was a way for kids to have fun without destroying property. By the 1950s, after World War II, it became a full-blown American tradition. Halloween was no longer just a small folk holiday. It was on its way to becoming a superstar. Fast forward to today, Halloween is huge. I mean, it's $1 billion industry. It's the second biggest commercial holiday in America, right after Christmas. Can you believe that? We spend so much money on this one spooky night. You walk into a store in August, and it's already filled with giant inflatable black cats and skeletons that talk when you walk by. It's a whole season now. We've got Halloween-themed everything, from coffee flavors to dog costumes. The holiday has become a massive cultural event that people plan for all year long. The costumes themselves have gone to a whole new level. Back in the day, you had a sheet with 2 eye holes and you were a ghost. Simple. Now, it's a competition. People spend weeks, even months, creating these elaborate outfits. You've got movie quality makeup, custom made props, and costumes that look like they walked right off a Hollywood set. And it's not just for kids anymore. Adults are the ones driving the costume industry. We all want to be something else for one night, whether it's a superhero, a monster, or our favorite TV character. It's a night of pure imagination. And the scares have changed too. It's not just about telling ghost stories around a fire anymore. Oh no. We have professional haunted houses that are like living horror movies. People pay good money to get chased by actors with chainsaws. We have corn mazes that are designed to get you lost in the dark. We have theme parks that transform into giant scream fests for the whole month of October. We have elevated the art of the scare. It's all about that adrenaline rush, that thrill of being terrified in a safe way. We love to be scared, don't we? Technology is even changing the game. Your jack-o'-lantern can now be controlled by an app on your phone. Your costume can have LED lights and sound effects built right in. People are using projectors to make it look like ghosts are flying through their windows. There are even virtual reality haunted houses you can experience from your own living room. The spirit of Halloween is still the same. It's about facing the dark, having some fun, and eating way too much candy. But how we do it keeps evolving, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Straight up.